Howdy. So now, example 2, lesson 5-6. The first example, they asked us to create the equation. They gave us the information and told us to make an equation given this information. In this example, it's kind of the opposite. They're giving us an equation, and we need to make sense of it and answer some questions. So, the cost of museum tickets are represented by the equation C equals 7.5t. So first off, we know this is proportional because 1, we have that multiplication going on there. 2, you can see that it's of the form y equals kx. It's just written a little bit differently. We said that we weren't always going to be using x and y, and in this situation, they're using c and t. So remember when your part A is asking me what's the constant of proportionality, make sure when you're doing this you have labels. It's essential that it's a rate. So the constant of proportionality, going back to your notes, the constant of proportionality is that k value, which in this case is that 7.5. So we just need to make sense now of what that 7.5 means. The cost of museum tickets, okay? So if we're talking about the cost of museum tickets, that means that C is equal to the total cost. Or you could just say cost. You don't even have to say total. Don't want to get you confused with the fact that there's another C word there, or T. And then T would be your number of tickets, right? Because your cost is dependent on how many tickets. If you get no tickets, you're spending no dollars. If you get 1 ticket, you're spending less dollars than you would be if you bought 10 tickets. So 7.5 cost of the tickets, cost per ticket. It's a unit rate. So it's $7.50 per ticket. Part B asking us what coordinate point would represent the unit rate on the graph of the equation above. So if they graph this equation, what point would represent the unit rate? That is going back from lesson 5-5, where we talked about how the coordinate points 0, 0, and big important here, 1, comma r, where r is that unit rate, always are on the graph. So they're looking for 1, comma r. Remember, that makes sense because a unit rate always has to have a 1 in it. So coordinate point for the unit rate must have a 1 in it. Let me make it more clear. So it's that 1, comma, unit rate. What is the unit rate here? The unit rate is the same thing as the constant of proportionality, which is that $7.50. So our coordinate point to represent the unit rate would be 1, comma, 7.5, or 1, comma, 7.50. Either way, doesn't matter. But that is my coordinate point. What does it mean? Again, making sure you're answering all parts of the question. I almost skipped that there. What does it mean? It means 1 ticket cost $7.50. Part C now. How many tickets could you purchase with $200? So just like our first example, you can do this by just simply doing the division. If you have $200 and each ticket costs $7.50, do the division and find your answer. However, I need to show you using the equation because we're trying to play with equations more. So if I go back and use that equation, C equals 7.5t. 200, the label on that 200 is cost. So that would go in for C. So 200 is equal to 7.5t. Divide both sides by 7.5 to get that multiplication away from the t, to isolate the variable from previous units. And so this is exactly what we're doing over here if we were just to do that division. This is just using the equation to do it. Either way is fine. I do not care which way you do it. 200 divided by 7.5. 200 divided 7.5. 26.6 repeating. 26.6 repeating. 26.6 repeating. Okay. So now, how many tickets could you purchase with that then? Because we can't purchase 0.6 repeating of a ticket. It doesn't work that way. So then, for my answer sentence, remember, you have to write the decimal down like we did, and then you can answer the question and do any rounding in your answer sentence. So how many tickets? You could purchase 26 tickets. C-K-E-T-S, there we go. And here, because we're talking about affording, talking about cost / affording something, we have to round down. Whereas up here, when we were talking about how much gas we needed to go somewhere, we needed to round up to make sure that we had enough. And there we go.